Si Rosa mentla siye jun beche konzon na teza na hitz gotea na hishi gotua. My name is Rosa Mentla and I live in Bichacon. I always remember how we grew up on the land with our relatives, and our grandparents were the most important people among us. Because when we were living out on the land, our parents were always there, and we also have other relatives that were there, so we knew the people.
Nora doixie, sumo zosata Juan John Bernadette Willia aginte. So my maiden name was Willia. I was born in Bichacon, but I was raised wherever my dad took us out on the land. It could be Gamity or Wakwiti or Marion Lake or back then my dad still lived a traditional life. So we followed the seasonal migration of the food chain. And also my dad too, like he also knew where to go to trap for like muskrat, marten, things like that. But my grandparents always lived nearby us and our extended family too. So we were always surrounded by our extended family, grandparents and that. When my parents were busy gathering and hunting, we were sometimes left with our grandparents or other extended families, other aunties and uncles. And they also taught us too, along with our parents.
We move around a lot, but it was really a good, wonderful way of learning and growing and just to live on the land was so good to be on the land. People work together. They work together in fishing, daily gathering for firewood in the fall time. And the women would go for berries and we would all go with them, even though there's small canoes that just fit us in there, paddling to where the berries are, collecting herbal medicines, and also just to have a picnic out there. When I think about my life as a little girl, even with my siblings, we were really well looked after.
And back then, the communities, I think, used to practice what we call, it takes a village to raise a child. We could be running around in the communities and our parents didn't have to worry about us because they knew that my late grandparents had their cabin here on this Bay Island, but we would cross the bridge and go to the other side of the community and we would be playing over there. And our parents never worried about us because they knew that there would be other grandmas, not necessarily my grandma, but other grandmas and grandpas in the community, aunties and uncles. They all watched out for the kids. If we went too close to the shoreline and the rock is slippery and the water is deep, they know that if we stepped on the slippery rock, we would slide in the water. So if somebody was nearby, they would tell us, and they tell us, don't go too close to the shoreline, you're gonna fall in. And back then, kids used to mind their elders, so we listened to them. So because of that, because the way we grew up, our parents knew that we were safe in the community. And if we did something that, could have put us at risk, they would tell our parents.
After I had my third child, I started working at the school. I feel really supported through my family. Even when I had no sitter, when we were living in the old cabin here with my in-laws, I would take one of them packing on my back and taking the older one and I would walk them across this lake here and all the way to my parents. So my parents did a lot. That's why I always feel so fortunate that I had parents that lived long with us.